Evening, wherever you are. Dr. Ruth Anderson and Teri Angel here with Enlightened World Network. We bring you a guided meditation every day of the year. On Sundays, we do a silent meditation. We invite you to meditate along with us. Teri will play some music. We go behind the scenes, and Teri and I meditate together. And then we come back on in about 20-25 minutes, and we share with you the messages that we received from Spirit. So we're glad you're here. Teri, good morning. I'm glad you're here.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ruth.
So let's go ahead. We'll get started. Teri will share some music now. See you soon. Okay, Teri, and we're back.
We are back.
That was really interesting. And we're going to share what we saw. And I just know that there are times that we share things out and it's such a risk. It's just such a risk because y'all might think we're crazy. And sometimes we wonder ourselves, did we really?
It's all perspective, Ruth.
It is all perspective. It is all perspective. But I think there is a desire for honesty and transparency with you all too. And I think that's why you keep coming back. And that's why we keep coming back. So here we go. So this morning, before our meditation, I had seen almost like a film, almost like a sugar dome, thin and see-through. And I could tell there was a different dimension on the other side of it. And I remember thinking, I know I'm going to go through it, but I don't know. This is how the brain works. I don't know if I'm going to get hurt as I go through it. Like, is it going to be sharp like glass or what? So I thought, well, I could punch it. I thought, no, because I might cut my hand. So I thought, no, I'm going to kick my way through it. So I did. And of course, I wasn't injured. And I could tell immediately that I was in another dimension, but I could see the dimension I had been in. I mean, it's just like see-through, right? But that's how close this other dimension is. And so Teri and I went back into that place in this meditation. And Teri was reminding me that everything is energy and that there's no hierarchy, that we're all the same. Teri, why don't you talk about that a little bit, the conversation you had last night?
Yeah, it's one of those things that as humans, we have a problem with. We're problem thinking that there's other things in our reality, in our world, that are on equal footing as us, as humans. We see ourselves as a superior being. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, all energy is energy. Energy doesn't know that there may be something that thinks it's better than or higher than. It just exists. It just is. And when we can finally wrap that around ourselves in our head, and we say, oh, I'm the same as that chair. I'm energy. And we're all created equal. Then we can begin the work in progress of seeing each other that way as human beings. We see each other as the same, no matter what the status in life, no matter how traumatic your life has been, how easy it has been. You know, I've had people that ask, well, why do some people just have everything they want? They just have an easy life. Well, it doesn't matter because we're all one. We're all having that easy life. We're all having that hard life. We're all part of the absolute oneness that is in the universe. So as we look at everything in our reality and we start to see the oneness, we start to see there is no difference. There is no hierarchy. There is nothing that is any different than anybody else or anything else. And it's an interesting place to go to when you can come to that place and then expand your consciousness out to see, okay, then, you know, what is this thing that we're doing here on Earth? And that's where we went with this different dimension that we both were seeing very clearly as we went through that, you can call it a wall, whatever you want to call it, that division of energy into the next dimension. And Ruth, I think that's the ones that have gone through the wall, the ones that are standing on that other side of that line are the ones that have gone to that place of saying, oh, I'm no different than Ruth. I'm no different than, that actor that we so idolize. I'm the same energy. And that's the beginning point. That's not the end all. That's where we have to begin and then expand out from there. So that's where this would take us, to go into that dimension.
So Teri and I went through that dimension in our meditation, and we very quickly were spun around. So we were looking at the planet. So we're out in the, like behind me, out in the atmosphere, looking at the planet. And we could see the angst and the illness and the racism and the hatred and the ego and, Ukraine. I mean, we could just see all of it happening. And we saw we were not alone. There were others behind us. And then we started really looking at the importance of us being a lighthouse from that place of looking at the planet. And by serving as a lighthouse, then others that are still caught in that 3D mentality can see us and gravitate to that space of, this is all an illusion.
It showed it very clearly, Ruth, that it is an illusion. But it's an illusion that is so real that that's what's happening with the spin. That's what's happening with all the dramas and the traumas and the chaos and the fear. It's all about how, when you're caught up in that spin, how are you dealing with it? And are you going into the fear, or are you going to say, oh, there's got to be more to it than this, and start to see that it is an illusion? And that's when you can go into the other dimension and look back on it, like what we were observing today, and say, oh, that's what happened. That's what I was caught up in. And whoa, let me get out of that.
Right. It's what Teri and I were saying. It's like when you wake up and go, I feel like I'm in the Truman Show.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the Truman Show is, watch it, because it gives such a different perspective on life today. Because, for the last 2 years, we've been dealing with the COVID drama. Well, now it's like, oh, they're getting tired of the COVID drama. Bring in a new drama. Okay, well, now it's, now it's the Ukraine drama. And it's like, wait a minute, it's almost like we're just pawns in this show. And when you realize, okay, hold on, I can step back from this. I can remove myself, get the spiritual vantage of this, and I don't have to buy in to all of the angst. That's an option. I don't have to. I can get that, 30,000 foot distance. So then Teri and I really was feeling, what can I do to help the planet? I mean, I'm seeing it and all the trapped energy. And what I was seeing was to do some Reiki and help move some of that energy, the angst and the ego and the hatred and the pollution and the toxins and all of that. So as we were doing that, what I was seeing coming in was love and promise and hope and faith. And we saw green roots being able to take hold in the earth. And then we were talking about those green roots, and we realized, yes, seeds need a dormancy period. And we've had that the last 2 years, when things were dormant and light workers were working, really working to spread light and love across the planet. They were nurturing those seeds. Those seeds, keep in mind, love, promise, hope, and faith. And we can really start to see those things taking hold. And the more attention we pay to those things, and the less attention we pay to the angst and the drama of the day, will A, help the planet, and B, help ourselves.
We also talked, Ruth, about living the example of what we're talking about and what we're feeling. And it involves raising your vibration. It involves keeping all those positive qualities that you mentioned, but also being very aware. What vibration are you putting out in the world where you're at? Are you putting out a vibration of fear and, being afraid to even open your front door? That's a vibration that goes out. Or are you just going to experience joy in your life? And I have a dear friend that would tell me every day, Teri, life should be fun. We should be out there playing. We should be swinging on the swing set, because that's the vibration. When it goes out, other people are going to look at that and going, oh my gosh, she's having fun. What does she know that we don't know? There's fun going on. And I want to tell you about the experience we had last night, Ruth, on the chanting show. So for those that don't know, we do a chanting show every night, and we've been doing it for, I think, 2 years now. And last night, for some reason, the vibration was so high that we couldn't stop laughing. So here we are all on the Zoom meeting, chanting chants to bring forth peace on earth, to bring in miracles, to bring in changes and shift the energy. And all we could do was laugh as we were doing the chants. And people were responding to that. We had audience members that are like, oh my gosh, this is the most fun I've had in a long time, because they were responding to the energy. And this is how you can affect a change in the world, changing your own vibration, changing what's going on inside of you, so that what you're putting out, you're showing by example. This is what it looks like to raise up above all of that chaos and conflict and drama and trauma that's constantly going to be fed to us. There's always going to be something. And I've said this many times, Ruth, there's always going to be something next to distract us from what's real. And only love is real. So when we can stay in our hearts in that love energy, we're going to laugh. We're going to embrace each other. We're going to walk through this world unafraid of whatever that next might be, that next foot that drops. So that's my encouragement to everybody, is to stay in your heart and to only focus on the love, only focus on sending that love energy out, and none of the fear or hatred. When things are showing itself as ugly in the world, instead of hating on it, just send love to it and just lighten it up, lighten the energy with love.
Teri, 2 thoughts come to mind. Jane Mountrose on her meditation yesterday said, what does your presence represent? How brilliant. What a great motto. What are you putting out in the world?
Yeah.
And Teri, you reminded us of that so beautifully. And lastly, last week, the mantra that I kept hearing in my head was, see it for what it is and rise above it. Everything. If the neighbor gets cranky with you, see it for what it is and rise above it. If you are watching the news, see it for what it is and rise above it. This is it's our obligation. It's our option. Truly, not only for ourselves, but for those around us. Yes, what a fascinating time, and what an amazing meditation, Teri. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's so interesting that we never have any idea where the meditation is going to go. Sometimes we get a thought beforehand, before we come on air, but it's just allowing Spirit to take us where it needs to take us. And that's what happened today, was this huge message of rising above, Ruth, just what you just said, to rise above whatever's the appearance that's in front of you, because it's not real. That's the illusion.
Yep. And we're not victims in this. We've got options. And yeah, that spiritual vantage point is priceless. Yeah. So, Teri Angel, I love you dearly. And friends, thank you so much for being here with us here at Enlightened World Network. We're here for you. We're glad that you're here with us and for us. So take good care of yourselves today. We'll see you soon, and God bless.
Bye, everybody.